So I told her, take her finger. Oh, hey, we are live.
Woo!
Welcome. We are on time because our shit is dialed back 7 minutes ago. So we are. That's terrible. Anyway, I don't know why. I just don't know why.
Oh, man. We're here, Spectre. We are here. We are live. And we have nobody watching according to my counter. Sounds about right. Boom. There it goes. It just took a minute.
All right, Shane, drop that big news.
All right. So whatever. We got to wait for people to roll in a little bit. Maybe not. So what everyone was hoping to see, what we were going to talk about. Everyone has been again, clamoring for news, and you come to the right spot. Comic Movie Marks, where we talk about.
I did not hear that. Why, Marks?
Oh, man. Yeah. Oh, we see you. I'm here, bruh. Oh, Marvin, welcome. Yep. It takes a little bit.
What's up, Ryan? You're in Dallas. Oh, shit.
Oh, that's awesome. Jealous.
Yeah, we were talking about it.
Hashtag jealous. Yeah, we were. But who knows now? We talk about shit. We talked about a part 4. And here we are.
We'll do a part 4. It'll come out. You're late. Man. Yes, you're late. God, who could be late like this?
Come on.
Jesus.
The nerve. Have you no respect, man?
Oh, it's morning wherever you're at. That's good. Enjoy that coffee. Pip pip.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening,
and good night.
Exactly.
I do love when people tag us for that stuff.
Yeah,
that's awesome. When someone puts random Truman Show stuff up, on there, and they have that, in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. And people will tag us in that stuff. I love that shit. I don't know why.
It's synonymous. We've taken over, Jim. We've taken over.
Even BVS by the minute. They did the sign out, and they said that, and somebody actually put as a review or maybe a comment or whatever it is on iTunes. I don't know how that shit works. About, oh, you guys did the Comic Movie Marks ending. I was like, yes, yes, you did.
It's so fantastic. It's not the Truman Show. It's
the Comic Movie Marks. Yeah.
Yes. I think we just randomly stumbled upon that too.
No, you did. Again, you.
Big Jim Carrey fans, and okay, how do
originally we were doing Take Care Now, Bye Bye Then.
Yeah, that's right.
And then you said we should start doing the Truman Show one. It was all you. Take credit. You did something right for once.
Every once in a while.
Man. Yeah. So anyway, I'm sorry we interrupted your big news there, Shane.
Yeah, welcome, Foxtail. Yeah. So speaking of Jim Carrey. The news that everyone is waiting to see. Bam! Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Knuckles, Gun, and Robotnik are revealed. I don't know what Gun is, but yeah, this is what people wanted to see, right? You can see some stand-ins here. That's super stoked for this. I can't wait. I can't believe they're bringing Knuckles into this one. What did you call it?
Too soon. He didn't have a solo movie yet,
right? Exactly.
Neither did Tails. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
I can't see the Trinity already. I can't see the Trinity already. 2 movies in. This is just fucking absurd.
Next thing we know, Sonic's gonna die, and Knuckles is gonna have to bring together the rest of the Sonic Forces universe. So some cool set photos, if anyone cares. And then there's this random video. I'm not gonna play it because it's not that good, but apparently. Jim Carrey's back. He's back again as full crazy Dr. Robotnik.
Bald mustache.
Yep. Exactly. With the wacky mustache. Plus a cape. So it's good stuff. That was it. That's what everyone wanted. Here we go. Hold on. So Gun's basically the UN analog in the Sonic games. All right. Thank you.
Guardian, he even spelled the acronym out, or the abbreviation.
my son's been playing this game. I think it's for the PlayStation. I think it's for PS4, but it might have been one that got upgraded and put on there.
I'll show you the way.
Come with me if you want to live. No, but it's like a mixture between classic Sonic games and then futuristic ones where the graphics are pretty cool, but then it'll switch to the side. It goes from side to behind him, and it's pretty awesome. It's crazy all over the place, and my brain can't keep up, but it's fun stuff.
You talking about us? You look like 480. I think you got to get buffered, man.
I hope not. Hold on. Let me check my my video. No, 720.
Woo!
That's good because we're so cheap, you know, with the StreamYard logo up there. Bam, I got it this
the
time
webcams.
over there.
I think we're gonna maybe look into something better. I think it's about time.
It
becomes a more
be
common
time.
thing. Yeah. What's up, Justin?
What up? Welcome.
Or DJ. I didn't mean to give away your secret identity.
How dare you? How dare you?
All right, guys. All right.
Are you ready? I'm just. I'm gonna mute myself for a sec and just let you go.
All right. So, you know, and these people aren't obviously going to hear this at all. But, all right. So, in this title, you'll see Restore the Snyderverse Rant. And this ramp, good start. We'll get there in a sec, Ryan. We'll get there in a second, Ryan. I got to warm up for the rant real quick. BRB, you're gonna miss it. All right. Anyway, so
my net is bad. Oh wait, hold on. That would be insane. Robot, where it's like imagine Jim Carrey doing like Eddie Murphy, where he's pretty much every character in the movie. Boom, mind blown. You can throw Truman in there. You can throw what's his name from Liar Liar. Yeah, exactly.
Mr. Reed.
Yeah, that's right.
Ace Ventura.
What's up? What's his first name? I can't even think of.
I know in Liar Liar. Yeah, I can't think of it either. I just pictured Mr. Reed,
what's up?
Lloyd Christmas, and Dumb and Dumber. Anyway,
your cholesterol, fatty. Oh.
Jesus, of course, Shane. Why are you saying that to me?
Oh, no, that's just the first.
I see how it is. Anyway,
what the hell are you doing? I'm kicking my ass. Do you mind? I'm gonna go watch that movie.
All right, let Shane go.
Okay. Sorry.
You stuffed her like a turkey. Anyway.
Bing, Fletcher.
Bang, boom,
bing.
You did not make
your boobs are huge. I mean, I want to squeeze them. Mama.
Oh, yeah, me, myself, and Irene.
Fletcher. Oh, my gosh. So great.
You stuck it up your own ass. Anyway. I don't know why when he pees, that's like one of the funniest things to me because it's so accurate. It's so freaking accurate. Why am I feeling like I had sex all night?
Yes,
it's just like he aims and just like, so accurate.
Man.
Anyway,
I love it.
I've had those days. Anyway, sorry. Anyway, so back to
rant time.
Back to the rant. Okay, so we had a recent video saying why fans have lost faith in WB and DC, and you know it's doing okay. Yada yada yada. People all over the spectrum on that one. It's just, you know, there's so many levels to it, so many layers to it, but there's just a couple comments that we got that just kind of blew me away. And it's just, I don't know. And I'm trying to understand this as much as possible. Like, where does this concept come? Where does this, I guess would be considered gatekeeping? I guess it would be gatekeeping. Like, who is a real fan of something? Because apparently now you have to turn in your fan card if you want something different than others. Because we had a couple comments here. I won't pull them up because I don't want to share his name.
Oh.
Well, no, I don't.
Quick edit.
I don't know. Anyway, from Johnny. No, I'm kidding.
Well, you kind of like set the stage a little bit and basically said what video these comments are on, but go on.
Yeah, I mean, they're there. So I don't know. So it was our video, and I have a feeling this guy didn't really watch the video, but that's just my opinion. He has a big old DC icon. Anyway, he says, I am a DC fan, and I have not lost faith in WB recently. The DCU has been making good movies that earn money. Speak for yourself, not the fans. That's one. Another one here. And this is kind of just where, I don't know, maybe this is kind of what really pushed me over, okay. It says, it seems to me that the only people that aren't getting what they want are Snyder fanboys, and they don't represent a majority of DC fans. All right. So that's just 2 examples. And there wasn't that many in that video. There was some, but those were the 2 that stuck out to me anyway. And one, the guy that earlier, the DC movies have been making good money and good movies, and I'm trying to figure out, I guess Joker, maybe that's what he's talking about, but he said DCEU. Joker's not part of the DCEU. So what's he talking about? It's certainly not Birds of Prey. Wonder Woman 84 is a mixed bag at best. So what are they talking about? And then you look at the future. Okay, what are we looking at? We got The Flash. We got The Suicide Squad, which is our next DC movie.
Yes, Paul, they are. The Who, the Hers.
Nice. And we got, and then recently, and we'll talk about this more later, The Flash and Black Adam have now both started filming. All movies to be excited about. The Flash, Black Adam's going to be introducing the JSA. The Flash is The Flash. Finally, we're getting the Flash movie, even though it might do some things that I don't want it to do, and it might be seem a little overbloated, and the person writing it is questionable at best. But hey, let's go for it. The Suicide Squad feels like Marvel sloppy seconds, but whatever. I'm still going to watch it because I'm a DC fan. And the thing that just blows me away, it's like this idea that Restore the Snyderverse is keeping you in one spot and that you're not moving on. All right. But this is the thing. People hold Restore the Snyderverse, either way, that it has to be, that they're holding it to the man, Snyder. And I get it, because his name is in that concept, right? But this is how, as a DC fan, I look at it. When you compare to the future movies that we're getting here, and then you compare to what the Snyderverse holds, we may have seen Darkseid for the last time in the DC universe. It might be years, even a decade, before we ever see Darkseid in a movie. Maybe they'll try to tie him into some of those HBO Max, series. Maybe the Green Lantern Corps, they could introduce a version of Darkseid or the concept of a Darkseid in that. I could see that. And maybe Apocalypse in general. But I mean, if you really think about it, on the grand scope of things, Darkseid is probably not going to happen. They got rid of New Gods. Not saying that would have been some kind of best movie ever, but it would have had the New Gods in it. Like, I was like, okay, I guess people don't like the director. I get that. But I'm like, it still has New Gods in it. It's going to have the Furies. It's going to have Darkseid in it. It's going to have other New God characters. It probably would have had Highfather, Orion. It probably would have had all those characters.
The crazy part too is the writer came out and did say, and I may be totally randomly quoting this because I kind of skimmed the article, but apparently he came out and said he did want to tie into what Snyder was doing. That was the plan, was to kind of set the foundation for these New Gods for Snyder and his universe, which I thought was crazy. So like it was still there. There's still aspects of the universe.
But even if it's not,
right,
that's fine. It's still those characters. I mean, you're DC fans, right? Who else do you want to see when it comes to DC movies? You want to see the Justice League. You want to see Superman. You want to see Wonder Woman. You want to see Darkseid. You want to see Apocalypse. When they're talking about in those whiteboards that there's a New Gods invasion of Earth in those future movies. Now, Snyder has said that things are going to change from what those whiteboards were, but how much are they really going to change? I mean, it's still going to have a New God invasion by the end of the series. And you're telling me, fuck that. I want what's coming up.
Suicide Squad.
Again. Another version.
Right.
I want, Peacemaker on HBO Max. I get it. I want to see other DC characters. I'm glad that they're trying to stretch that thing out a little bit. I'm glad that they're, not, even though by a poll we took, Batman clearly is the front runner.
This was my thought as well. Initially, they said it because it contradicted, but then when I read that the writer was trying to tie it in, I'm like, whoa, shit. Does it really make sense that way? Is that really what they're trying to do? Because it had too much in there. Is kind of odd.
So I'm glad they're doing that. That's cool. And the idea of like, yeah, that's going to be a fun movie. But I'm sitting here as a DC fan saying, I want to see fucking Darkseid versus Superman. And that's what that was going to promise us. It was Darkseid, get this right, Darkseid versus Superman. And yet, people just keep tying it to the name or the fandom because they don't like the fans or they don't like the director.
Right.
But not thinking about if you don't like the movies that he's made, I get it. Move on. You're not gonna, no matter what, you're not gonna like what he does. Okay, fine. If that's what it is, I guess I get that. But it seems like I mean, I don't really care about Ava DuVernay's, directed history and that people didn't like her and stuff, and that maybe she's questionable on films. I was just like, this is a New Gods movie. The concept of that, Highfather, Orion, the Furies, Granny Goodness, Darkseid, like those are characters that I've been dying to see come off the page. And yes, they're in animated form. That's always great to see. And we always have that. But I want to see them live action. I want a grand scoping story. And this could be, and I really started questioning some things. I was like, it starts sometimes feeling like it's just like cinematic universe penis envy almost. Like you look at Endgame, and I hate to go back to this. I hate this so much.
But we do all the time.
But you look at Endgame, and you look what they did. Okay. And even though there's problems with it, it's not the right Thanos. It should have been the Thanos from the previous movie. That's a terrible decision because he doesn't know what the hell any of these people are doing. And he doesn't know who any of them really even are. But you look at what they had, and then you think about what could be done with DC characters. It would blow that shit out of the water. Out of the water. I mean, yeah, Cap wielding Mjolnir is cool. But what Snyder had planned was fucking Wonder Woman becoming the new God of War. God of War Wonder Woman. And she would have fought Superman. It would have been a glimpse, but she would have fought Superman as God of War Wonder Woman versus Superman. A Superman under the anti-life equation. No, we don't want that. We want Peacemaker. We want the Gotham series on HBO Max. Because we're not fans. Because we don't want to see these fucking amazing characters that I've been dying to see come off the page. Jack Kirby's world come to life.
Imagine a live action version of Justice League Unlimited. And had they continued with the foundation that they would have had, to the universe, I think we could be excited for something like Peacemaker. A show of like, hell yeah, we're gonna exactly. But
the marks are going to be intrigued
exactly
by John Cena, just like Black Adam. Well, we would have been interested in Black Adam either way, but The Rock. I mean, anyway, sorry.
Yeah, exactly. No, but think about like it just makes it. People complain about Superman's death in the second movie doesn't mean anything. Well, it's fucking Peacemaker on HBO Max doesn't mean anything. Having another Suicide Squad doesn't mean anything. Birds of Prey that doesn't tie into anything doesn't mean anything. That's the point. Wonder Woman 84, like you have these standalone movies, it's fine. If somehow you want to give the director some control and maybe have it loosely based on a universe, okay, great. But what you could have built to would have been so much more epic, and to have all these movies tie in. And I love your the way that you put it, Matt, with the penis envy of the universe, because no, you don't have to have a connected universe. And I definitely don't think you have to have solo movies before you lead up to your big team up. However, when you watch Endgame and you watch what they were able to accomplish, and you watch when, maybe movies like Ant-Man don't mean shit, but then you get that moment where all the portals are opening up and it gives you chills, and you're like, every single time I think about what DC could have had, and that's what's so depressing, and that's what we're talking about when it comes to the expectations and where DC fans are at. It's like, okay, what you're gonna pump out movies, and why am I supposed to care about this? It's not like you're trying to have certain things that are standalone, and the Flash movie is intriguing at this point, but it just doesn't mean anything. And then, and at some point there was rumors about like Titans kind of blending into the same universe and all these different things. And I like having the Easter eggs like Shazam, for example. When you look at things, you're like, oh, that is from the same universe, and that's Henry Cavill's Superman. I love that aspect of it, regardless of how the movie was. And so it's frustrating, and you're kind of, why am I supposed to care? You know, give me the sequel to Superman. Give me all these different like well-known characters, and then we can branch out to these lesser known ones. And we've said this before, but I think that WB is trying to play it way too safe. Of if you have a Peacemaker show and it flops, no one cares. But you know, if you have a Superman movie and it flops, then you're like, oh crap, our Superman movie flopped.
Or it's going to be a Superman movie that they can hide behind certain things.
Right.
Because they're going to have a certain person writing. It's going to be a certain character. It's not going to be Kal-El. It's going to be a different version. If that doesn't do well, that's just because everybody is terrible people. Right. And nobody wants this. It's not because we made a crappy movie or we made crappy decisions. It's constant bullshit. And I guess we didn't say this in the last video because we made a video before, and you try not to repeat yourself. And it does suck to keep saying like what they could have had. And I get that gets annoying. But as DC fans, you should, in my opinion at least, you should be a little bit more like, yeah, you know what? You guys have a chance to do this and still do your other bullshit too.
Right.
That's the point of the multiverse.
That's what we thought was the point of the multiverse.
Right.
That's what we thought, is that again, I've said this ad nauseum. You can have your cake and eat it too. You can just suck up all the money. Give me all of the money. Like that's what you could have done from every aspect.
Again, this is also the other thing that drives me nuts. Oh, all you guys want is movies done by Snyder. No. Yeah, maybe there's like some on Twitter or even in our comments that may say that. But that's not us. That's not a lot of the fans. Sorry. That's just what it is. We just want this universe. Like, you could even have other people doing these movies, like spin-offs of the Nightmare Timeline, spin-offs of these stories. It's not that, yes, unfortunately, Snyder's name is, not unfortunately, but Snyder's name is attached to this idea, this concept. But it just seems like to me, it's like, I just don't understand the DC fan that's willing to say, fuck that universe. I guess if you just don't like Snyder's movies at all, like if you didn't like Man of Steel, didn't like BVS, you didn't like Zack Snyder's Justice League, I guess why would you give a shit about anything else after that? I guess I get that, but it's still like, it's fucking Darkseid. It's Apocalypse invading Earth. Like, that's...
I think that's why I enjoyed Zack Snyder's Justice League so much, is because I could kind of see the dollar signs of like, okay, he's now blended a little bit of both. And, you know, we would always talk about Wonder Woman being the bridge between two peoples. No, I'm just kidding. Wonder Woman being the fine line of between a serious, grounded movie and have the jokes and stuff like that. And then I feel like Zack Snyder's Justice League accomplished that, to kind of bring some of those fans along that maybe didn't like Man of Steel and BVS, and that you can at least make them interested. And if you're a DC fan, and yes, if you didn't like Man of Steel and BVS, you should at least want to see live action versions of these characters and have it unfold, regardless of, you cannot like Jesse Eisenberg's Lex Luthor, but to have Lex Luthor building a villain team, you can not like Jared Leto's Joker, but to have Joker teaming up with Batman,
and they're doing a heist. Right, and Snyder's already told us that they would be doing a heist of a mother box. It'd be Batman and Jared Leto's Joker on a heist doing shit. And he even talked about they would have like a Last Supper and talking about Joker killing Robin. Like, you're talking about this moment of what happens at this kind of Last Supper type idea. And they would go get a mother box. I mean, yeah, some of these ideas are out there. Some of these things are there. And it just kind of blows me away. It's like, and the fact that WB has lied every fucking step of the way, that's the thing that just kind of blows me away. This like, I guess we have no choice. They own DC. They are the ones that are going to produce DC content. I guess you really don't have much of a choice, but it's like they have lied every step of the way. Don't forget that it was Toby Emmerich that said that Joss Whedon was handpicked by Zack Snyder to complete his vision. Okay. They start with that lie. Then afterwards, they say there is no Snyder Cut. They literally bring in Ben Fritz from the Wall Street Journal to say there is no Snyder Cut, to do this elaborate little stupid thing, the Wall Street Journal, just before Comic-Con, just so the headlines can read, there is no Snyder Cut, give the fuck up. All right. Even after November 17th, 2019, when it trended well over almost a million tweets, the very next, actually either that day or the next day, Variety comes out with an article saying the Snyder Cut is a pipe dream. They have lied and tried to push this down the ladder every step of the way. Even when it came to him doing the movie, they still fought him over things. They gave him rules that he wasn't allowed to do this, he wasn't allowed to do that. All right. So now you're trying to tell me that these are the people that you trust with these characters. After all that, they just don't want people telling them what to fucking do. And that's why the thumbnail says, give a mouse a cookie. If you give a mouse a cookie. Because that's used over and over again now for the Snyder fans. You gave us a cookie, now we want more. All right. Fine. But that was never, for me at least, I will say for me, that was not the point. It was the fact that we were losing so much as DC fans. And what's on the other side? Nothing. I don't see. I will still watch them. I will still watch DC movies.
That's the frustrating part.
Well, the thing also, people talking about boycotting WB. That's another one on the other end of the spectrum. Okay, you boycott WB, then what? DC movies, anyway. You boycott them, then what? You think they're going to go back? No, they're just going to scrap those plans and start over again because that's all they've done. That's why scrap, start over, scrap, start over. So if for some reason there's enough influence out there that these movies don't do well, The Flash doesn't do well, Suicide Squad doesn't do well, whatever reason, if they don't do well, they're not going to go backwards. They're going to go forward.
That's why we're in this mess that we're in right now, is because they're looking at what they think is actually happening. And I actually agree with the comments of if you give a mouse a cookie. Yeah, because we saw the potential of what this could be. You know, you fantasy book all the time. Like, you know, imagine if these players played together, you know, Jordan and LeBron, or, you know, imagine if these wrestlers, you know, fought each other, like all the time. But to actually be so close and have it just jacked up, that's where you're like, more things start to come out. You see the movie, you see what was laid out before you, and the greatness that it could be. And as DC fans, why would you not want that? That's what's crazy. And so, yeah, it's okay. Yeah, give me more, because now I saw the potential of what could possibly happen, and the success, whoever wants to address it or not, was there. And you know, and the potential is just endless. But now, you know, it's depressing to kind of look at. And I agree with you, Matt, that I'm gonna still watch the DC movies, and because I'm a DC fan and I'm interested to see what they do with it. But there's also, I think that's what was the problem with Birds of Prey that we talked about, is like the lack of stakes and interconnected universe, and again the potential of what could have happened, what you could have had as your story. That's what is like, man, that was there for the taking, like it given to you on a silver platter, and you jack it up, and then you continue to jack it up, and then exactly as you so eloquently put, that if it doesn't do well, then they're going to scrap those, and they're just going to reboot the whole universe, start all over. At least right now, we do have some resemblance of what Snyder had done. You have some of his cast,
but see, it's the Snyder verse. It's not just Snyder himself. It's the concept of this universe, of these characters. That's what some people are asking about. And fuck you, Mike.
I saw that too. We don't acknowledge comments that aren't in green, Mike. Yeah. Just so you know.
Yeah, you. Yeah, no, that's it.
That's all the time you get.
Yep, that's it. Go back to Anyway, go back to California. Yeah. Cool. Anyway, so this is like, okay, I'm like, all right. So I did a poll, put a poll up on our community page. We got 2,000 votes. asking which DC movie are you looking forward to the most? If none, comment with none. And we got a decent amount of comments. A lot of people did say none, but overwhelmingly out of 2,000 votes, 53% said the Batman. I had the Batman, Flash, Black Adam, the Suicide Squad, and then other comment below. And so Batman overwhelming. And then I'm like thinking, I was like, so I'm interested. I'm really interested in Matt Reeves' Batman. A lot of other people seem to be. I guess you could kind of just chalk that up that Batman is probably the most popular DC character, probably the most popular superhero at this point, right next to Superman, Spider-Man. I mean, those three literally transcend pop culture because everybody knows who Spider-Man, Batman, and Superman are. And that could kind of chalk up to it. But then when you think about it, I'm like, what really though? What really could drive people towards it? And because it looks like it could literally be, I mean, other than what could happen in the trilogy for Matt Reeves, but it almost could be our last truly director-driven movie. A lot of these other things are, I mean, we'll see with Black Adam, but you know, The Rock's a businessman. He's gonna try to maximize this movie as much as possible to everybody. But the Batman is the last like true director-driven movie that we might get. Because all these other ones are going to be committee. They're going to be WB concepts being mashed together into whatever the hell they're trying to form. And this could be our last true auteur director doing something. I mean, that's what it looks like. It's like we're losing. They're obviously becoming more like the MCU. And they're going to go towards a more watered down, safe approach with these movies. It feels like. Again, this is the other thing too, what most don't realize either. I would love to be wrong. I want The Flash to be the best fucking possible movie it can be. I want Black Adam to be the best possible movie it can be. I want Suicide Squad to blow my fucking ass cheeks apart. But I want that. And I will always give a movie a chance. I've been proven wrong about certain things. I did not think Ben Affleck was going to be a good Batman. I thought that was a terrible idea. I was proven so fucking wrong. That's why I'm not judging Pattinson at all until I actually see him. Because I was so wrong about Ben Affleck. There's no way.
Ledger.
Heath Ledger.
Example. Yeah.
Brokeback Joker. I mean, I remember that was the joke.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And I've decided I'm not going to judge casting, you know, Jesse Eisenberg. It took him a little bit to grow on me, but I think he's an excellent Lex Luthor. That's why I'm not judging Pattinson at all until I see him in the movie. If he has a Christian Bale voice or not, you know, if he's going to go that way or not, or, you know, swear to me.
I can't go backwards from the
That's not green.
You're awesome. You're awesome. He did it. Oh, thank you. See, now we acknowledge you. We're shills.
Good job, Mike.
Oh man, now I lost my train of thought. It's a Friday already.
You call it a Friday. It's a Tuesday for me.
Oh man. I lost. What was I saying? What were we talking about? Where are we? Where are we in this
DC characters?
I don't know. Oh, I can't go backwards from the BVS and Justice League voice that Affleck did. Like it's awesome. I love that. So now I feel like everything else is just going to be no, that sucks.
So it's kind of like, all right, and it's pretty much not set in stone. That's a terrible phrasing. It's never set in stone because you never fucking say never. We've learned that you never say never. But then you just look at how a lot of trades are taking this now, man. And we're gonna try to do an independent video of this because there's a reason why. And I talked about this briefly on the streams and stuff about how WB is they're just letting the fans and bloggers and journalists just fight it out. And unfortunately, it's just like Shane and I were talking about this beforehand. You get these articles saying the Snyder Cut did really well. It crushed records in this and this and this. It crashed this and this streaming platform. HBO Max, HBO Asia, Crave, whatever the hell is in the UK, crushed all that, right? All right. But then you get the other ones. No, it didn't do well. It didn't bring in the money. It didn't bring in, well, not necessarily bring in the money, but it didn't bring in the subscriber count. It didn't have the view count. It had only so much of this. It only had so much of that. All that stuff. So it's kind of like, it's like, okay, so there's just mixed messages here. You're just like not sure what the fuck is going on anymore. And then so people are going to like point to this, like, look what this one says. Oh no, look what this one says. And of course, our awesome society, our fucking social media awesome society, where all they read is a goddamn title or a caption on a tweet. And that's all they fucking read and think they know what the hell they're talking about. That just blew me away. So they'll say, like, for instance, today, 2.7 million, Warner Media or HBO Max got 2.7 million new subscribers in this quarter one. So they're trying to say now that's a letdown, and that's because of the Snyder Cut. The Snyder Cut did not bring in the numbers that was expected. Not just a Snyder characters. And
thank you, Justin.
Thank you, Justin.
By the way.
And
awesome.
when you, it really does feel like they want directors they can push around. They want people that they can mold into what they want. You know, that more fun, more happy, more humorous versions. Remember what Suicide Squad was? It was never fun enough, as it was put. The original one, the David Ayer one. Never fun enough. Rick F's, I'm not going to even try to say his last name, Flash concept wasn't fun enough for them. Yeah, I get that. All right, you want a project to go a certain way. But then when you have people just flat out lying about certain things or just manipulating things, like, and also the arrogance of fucking Americans. Like, I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's like just when some third party person puts out some shit about HBO Max numbers, they'll say everything like this is the definitive number when it's only talking about HBO Max, which is in 50 states. That's it. That's all it's in. Just completely ignoring the rest of the world when it comes to this. Because some HBO, because only 2.7 million subscribers went to quarter one of HBO and the quarter one to HBO Max, the Snyder Cut didn't bring in the numbers they want. Okay, to HBO Max. But what did it do everywhere else?
Exactly. It's to go back to the media and the bloggers and all that nonsense. It's crazy that this is our society in a nutshell, that you can take the same information, spin your narrative exactly the way you want, and then have people grab onto both ways. That, 3 million subscribers, is great. It's up, from this quarter compared to last. And then a complete other article is, it didn't do exactly what they were hoping for. And, and that's because it's only in the US and blah, blah, blah. And Godzilla versus Kong was basically the one tugging the train along, and that was it. And it's like, well, there's so much information that's contradictory, that what is the truth? And at what point are you just pulling nonsense just to fit your specific narrative, because that's what you want the truth to be? And that's with everything. That's not just with movies. That's in everything, in life in general, of like, nope, we're going to take the factual truth of what happened, and we're going to take anecdotal evidence and spin it the way that we want it so that it fits our argument. And then that's what we're going to do. So it's hard to get the actual truth, which I still feel like we don't have at this point. I
am almost certain we never will, because, sorry to interrupt you, Shane, but in this whole investor thing, because this was what this was about today, we thought maybe there's a chance with the quarter one investment that we would get some kind of fucking answers. No, we didn't. Even when they were asked about the Snyder Cut, Warner Media, it's quoted here. I'll actually make sure I share screen so everybody can see this, because we show facts. We just don't ramble. We don't just say shit from a headline. If I can find what the hell I'm looking for. Oh, it's here. That's why. There we go. All right. So the Snyder Cut, which did not follow this strategy, was an exclusive launch on HBO Max and was expected to also help drive subscriber growth, particularly after the company shelled out an estimated $30 to $70 million. That's a fucking wide margin of estimate on reshoots and post-production. Okay, Warner Media declined to comment on the project's financial terms. Now, that doesn't tell you that they're just going to completely avoid this answer, no matter what the results are, no matter if it was great, if it sucked shit. No matter what, they are not going to answer these questions. They have gone full cold shoulder. They are going to ignore every possible thing that they can. And unfortunately now, after some positive stuff leading into the Snyder Cut from bloggers, they have reverted right back to just calling fans crazy and shit like that, because we want to see fucking Darkseid versus the Justice League, because that's just an insane fucking idea. Who would want to see that? Who would in their right mind would want to see that? Yeah, that's just stupid. And then even like recently with Justice Con, you just look at the Chris Terrio and Zack Snyder interview. They're talking about certain things. Dumbasses, they're just talking about the name of Batman versus Superman. And I think just casually, almost jokingly, Snyder just throws out, "Oh, we wanted to call it something different. We didn't want so on the nose. We wanted like Son of Sun and like Night of Night or some shit like that." Then you get people from like Slash Films. Zack Snyder wanted to call Batman v Superman to be called Son of Sun and Night of Night. That's not what he said. He was actually talking about they wanted Batman and Superman as a title. That's how they were looking at it. Or they were actually looking at it because when they figured out it was going to be a 5-film arc, they were going to call it Justice League : and they were tempted to call the next 4 movies after that some kind of Justice League, just like Avengers Endgame, Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Week of Ultron, and shit like that. Avengers. It was going to be like Justice League : any. That's what they were talking about. That's the titles, but no. And we've talked about Peter here. It's Peter Schirardi. Oh my God. Anyway, we've talked about him. And of course, they're just trying whatever. They're just saying the dumbest stuff because it gets hate clicks. It gets all this other interaction, but no one pays attention. There's people now that think Snyder said that. Well, he did say that, but they think that's the only
truth. Yeah,
the truth.
Exactly.
Because of this tweet right here.
Not saying it in jest. And yeah,
no one pays attention anymore. It doesn't matter. What's the title say? That's all I have time for. I'm not going to I'm going to comment on all this shit. I'm going to click on your videos and comment under the thing there and say shit. But I'm not going to actually listen to the video. We had some of those.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you
or person.
I've seen our statistics. It's pretty. You got about 98% chance. 98% chance. We're not bringing in the ladies here.
I don't want to assume. I'm just throwing that out there.
I'm just going by the YouTube analytics. You have a 98% chance.
on the title of BVS kind of topic, it cracks me up that again the amount of information that we're still trying to pull out of over all these years. You go back to our early videos, we were talking about that. Yeah, WB clearly wanted to have their version of the MCU, and that Snyder was just doing the best he could with what he was given. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll put all these these heroes in here, and then I'm going to set it up to where you can branch off and all this stuff. That was what we talked about early on, and then eventually it kind of changed to well, actually, no, this was Snyder's plan. Snyder wanted to do this. He thought this would be cool. And then now it's come back to that. Well, actually,
he's even on record saying that he was the only one saying, let's not be like the MCU.
Right.
But he had his different approach to it. But it never got to happen. Got to happen. But again, we're fucking crazy for wanting to see this come to. It just blows me away. You're not a DC fan. What the fuck? No. Fuck you. I want to see Darkseid. I want to see the Sun. I want to see Granny Goodness. I want to see the new gods, some of the new gods, doing. I want to see Apocalypse evade Earth. That is one of the.
I don't know if I've ever seen Loltron before.
Did I say? I probably muttered it up because I'm.
Did you say? Oh, that's perfect. Loltron.
I don't. I could be muddling it up.
Thank you again.
Even
Thank
though
you
boycott
again.
WB, you can, as
Do
your
whatever you
personal
want.
preference.
Yeah.
If you don't want to see DC movies by WB anymore, that's your choice. But the people that are campaigning saying that
Oh my gosh, Matt, go off.
I already told
Thank
Shane
you.
about this, and
He did.
briefly.
I didn't realize it was going to go 45 minutes. But,
Neither did I. I really thought I was going to knock this out in 10, 15.
Right. It's fine.
And then
We needed to fill time anyway, so here we are.
So this is the thing. Like, it's like, all right, okay. So, and then you get these articles coming out, right? Okay, all right. So what was that? Was it a Variety? Was it a Variety Fair article? Or what was it? It was a Hollywood Reporter article. What was the article that had the whole the Ray Fisher thing? So it was a Hollywood Reporter article. All right, that's right. So the Ray Fisher like so-called expose thing or whatever. All right. So in there, they talk about how they thought Fisher was Snyder was leading Fisher on to do this. And I'm like, all right. Okay. Yeah. And it's like, oh, so he could take over the DC universe, like this evil fucking plan. Oh yeah, he's gonna. It's like something out of their shitty DC movies. Like anyway, that they put out. Like anyway, I was like, that's just dumb. That's just dumb. And people have been asking us forever now, since Fisher started his thing. Like, is this gonna hurt possible Snyder stuff? And I've always been like, I don't know. I kind of feel like it does. It's gonna hurt any potential because depending on where this goes, this is airing more dirty laundry. This is airing more issues. And they already have personal issues with Snyder. Now they have personal issues with a cast member. Do they really want to keep dealing with this? And clearly, it's like this weird thing. It's like, WB has been lying sacks of shit through this whole thing. You know that saying, like with when there's a couple and the one dude is the dude or the girl is the most paranoid out of the group that the other one's going to cheat on him, but they're the ones actually cheating because they're the fucking
right.
And they're the most paranoid one. So WB is like, they're the assholes, the ones that have been saying all this shit, but they're the most paranoid out of them. Like, see, we've been saying all this shit, so he must have plotted Ray Fisher against us. That's what it is. That's the only reason why this is happening. But see, Ray Fisher's problems went all the way up the chain. I went all the way up to Warner Media. See, people keep thinking, oh, it's going to be Warner Media, KLR, and them are going to save it. That's because they're not Warner Brothers or Warner Media. No, this went up to Warner Media. This went up to the top of the food chain. They're not going to want to deal with this shit. They're done. They don't want to deal with Fisher. They don't want to deal with Snyder. It's just, that's why you're not seeing that, Captain Save-A-Ho. You're not seeing them come to the rescue. It's just at this time, it's become, I think Shane did a great meme. It didn't get enough traction. It's sad. But he had one where it was if you've watched The Last Dance and like half of that fucking thing is about Michael Jordan saying, I took it personal, or it was personal to me.
Yeah.
Restore the Snyderverse. And he had a great logo of WB. I took it personal, and yeah, and it's just like, okay, yeah, they took it all personal, everything. There's always some symbols of truth from some people. You remember what the hell is that idiot's name? Andy Signor. Couldn't remember his name for a second.
There's too many idiots.
You remember when he was saying it wasn't going to happen because Snyder's pissed off people at WB?
Mm-hmm.
But then like 3 weeks later it happened.
Yep.
He got half the truth.
Right.
Yeah, they pissed somebody. He's pissed people off at WB because of how he's approached things. But it still happened. Still happened. When you look at certain things, it's like some of these guys are right because they're getting the information from the people that don't like Snyder. That's why they have that information. Is because those people want their voices heard as well. Because Snyder has this huge platform. He could just put the tiniest things on there. People, will go with it. So they want their voices out there, and people will repeat those. And again, that title, headlines, bullshit, people just take that, run with it. It's, yeah, I guess the gatekeeping of fans is just what bugged the shit out of me. Because, yeah, I want to see, personally, as a DC fan, I wanted to see Darkseid versus Justice League. And who knew that was such a wrong think mentality? Who knew? All right, so let's talk about the Flash. Flash is officially filming.
Oh, and God. I digress. Boom. All right. So now what else we got? Got to make up for lost time.
It's just, I just, yeah, it's just fascinating to me how just so people could just dig their feet in the fucking sand, don't pay attention to shit, but just spew shit out because they randomly can. Yeah. And it's amazing to see what some of these bloggers do. And then even on the other side too, it's just, I've seen it too. It just drives me nuts.
No, part four is going to be somewhat positive stuff.
No, that's actually a more positive.
Yeah. Take your heart pills, man.
I wish I had some.
Yeah. So the Flash, at least we got off the ground. We got that kind of interesting. This is really bad, and I don't know if you felt the same way, Matt. But we get that thing from Andy Muschietti that is the Flash logo, and then it's a quick little I don't even know what to call it. Teaser, graphic. Yeah. And I thought when I first started scrolling through social media and seeing it a bunch, I was like, oh, the new season of Flash must be airing soon.
That's exactly what I thought.
Yeah. Oh, man. And I
even felt like the music was very similar.
Yeah, exactly.
Because when you actually watch the Machete, there's music ones. And stuff like that. And it's like, no. It's very similar to the CW.
Okay. Well, that's cool. And then all of a sudden I'm like, oh no, this is the movie. Oh, dang. So didn't make me feel all that great about it. That was my initial thought that, oh no, this is the movie. So I don't know. Who knows how it's going to be. I like Ezra Miller. It's cool that apparently we're going to have Supergirl. As Mike said earlier, Michael Keaton's back. So that's pretty cool. Ben Affleck still might be tied to it, apparently. Who knows at this point? It'd be cool if Ray Fisher was still in it. I don't know. It's the jury's out on that. Can I say that?
We have to circle back.
Yeah,
that's the right thing nowadays.
Oh man, I gotcha. That's
the most political thing we'll ever say.
Exactly. Yep. So who knows? We'll see. It's cool that it finally it got off the ground. And here we are, we're filming. Black Adam is starting to film too, so that's cool. I guess some excitement. I'll wait to see some more information that comes out, some set photos. Those are two movies that I really don't care if I see set photos. I guess the third movie would be Sonic 2. If I see some set photos, I'm like, yeah. And before, like, that screwed me with Man of Steel. I watched way too much. I noticed way too much of it. And so most movies, I try to like keep myself away from any of that stuff. But these are some that I'm like, okay, sure, show me what you got, because I'm just waiting to see more from it, before I start forming an opinion. And even then, like, we kind of crapped a little bit on the set photos of Shazam, but knew at the same time that no, it's going to be better than this. This costume isn't going to be this shitty. It's not going to be a cosplay one. And so now we brought it back. So even with set photos, we'll judge it a little bit, but then still go into the movie with an open mind. I'm curious, what it's going to do. I saw someone in the comments earlier said that they're worried that Flash will completely ixnay, all of the Snyderverse, which would suck. And then that means that Andy Signore's boner buddy Jody would he be right, because that's what he's been praying for. Oh, the Flashpoint can't come soon enough. So I don't know. Who knows?
That was actually something small that did come out of Justice Con. Was Snyder did say that after his 5-film arc, this is obviously planning way ahead, they should have done a Flashpoint movie to reset everything.
Mm-hmm.
It was a comment that he made, and I was like, "Yeah, there you go. That's just kind of what it was,
Fantasy booking it for me, I thought it would have been cool just to continue, like you talk about Ben Affleck sacrificing himself and stuff, and then you continue with different Batmans, rebuild the Bat family differently, and just kind of continue with that, and then you have Superman, and Henry can do that role for forever. If he's balding or not, give him away.
Remember, he's thinking 5 arc like a comic series.
Yeah, it'd be done at that point. But
cut it.
Yeah. Right.
cut it
But
off.
I'm just saying fantasy booking,
Flash or Wonder
it would have
Woman
been
over.
awesome just to see it continue.
Yeah, I mean, it yeah, it could, it would be kind of an interesting concept, but yeah, Flash is, we'll see what this says actually.
So pretty disheartening seeing everyone just give up after a few weeks. Got me excited a year ago, only to throw in the towel after 4 measly weeks. The reason I wanted to highlight this comment because I'm disappointed as well, but it's almost, you feel slightly defeated when we did all of this stuff. We did not think the Snyder movie, the Snyder Cut, was going to come this soon. We thought eventually, but this soon, it's crazy. And you think of like, man, the possibilities, never say never. And then it feels like that uphill battle that we had, all of everything that we did.
Oh my God. I would love that so much.
Could you imagine?
He could do like a Squirrel Girl or something.
Right.
What's the most absurd Marvel character? I don't know shit about Marvel.
Yeah, sounds good. Squirrel Girl.
Do a Spider Pig movie.
Spider Pig. But
Zack Snyder's Spider Pig.
You fight so hard for this time, and we were so invested. If you look back on our channel, we're so invested in the Snyder Cut that it was exhausting to a point. We finally get it, and yeah, it's give a mouse a cookie. But then it's like, we gotta do this again.
Okay, I gotta squash this shit. Okay, because I'm seeing this now multiple times, and now that comment. Okay, no, Restore the Snyderverse is always going to be on our mind. We're still going to make content. We're still going to promote, what it could, not promote, but we're not giving up. I don't know why people are saying that. See, this is the other thing that frustrates me. It's like, I don't know how detailed I got to be about saying shit. I'm not getting mad at you guys or anything, but just other videos, other things I've said. Like, I just, I guess I actually, there was one person that says they kind of get confused by sometimes what we're saying. And I'm like, all right, I guess that's our fault. That's our problem.
We kind of ramble.
Well, we ramble or something like that, or our goal in the video is something different than what the person was actually listening to for, or something like that. Like that, I have a different goal in this video to say something. My main rant was about people saying that you're not a DC fan because you want to restore the Snyderverse. That was my thing. And then the media just lying their balls off. And Warner Media clearly just straight up lying about things because and they're not going to comment on anything. Not saying that it's not going to happen, but even Snyder from very early on has said it's very unlikely it's going to happen. And that's the one thing that I think he was honest with. He was straight up saying that and even at Justice Con, when he was straight up asked about that to Terrio, he was asked, would you continue the Snyderverse at Justice Con? And him and Terrio, and then they had to reiterate, under the right conditions, would you do it? And he's like, oh, well, if different people were like, you kind of made a comment about different people being heads of WB. Like, it's like, obviously Snyder knows a lot more about what's going on than any of us. And he seems to, he told the fans not to stop, But the thing for me, too, is also there was 1.5 million tweets that happened. 1.5 million tweets. That was the most organic grassroots moment on Twitter about a movie. 1.5 million tweets. There was nobody from the cast. Snyder didn't post any pictures. Nothing. That was truly organic, where casuals, people that just flat out enjoyed the movie, came together. Hashtag Restore the Snyderverse. 1.5 million tweets. Do I ever see that getting replicated again? No, because I don't really think so, because that's the casuals. The casuals joined in on that. The people that just saw the movie were like, yeah, you know what? Restore the Snyderverse. But they're not going to carry on from that point. Maybe some. But, with all these articles being so manipulative about what's going on, it drags everybody down.
Well, and that's my point, is that, and maybe that's where we are misleading, is that the way that we talk, and and a lot of our videos kind of end up like this as of late, of just kind of ranting and just depressed state almost. And you could still have hope and go, yeah, I think this can still happen, but also be a little felt like knocked down a peg of like, man, we really have to do this again. It was almost like instantaneous And I think maybe it goes back to the Ann Sarnoff stuff of like, no, they are trying really hard to just separate themselves from this universe so much, instead of having kind of like this vague idea of like, yeah, maybe let's wait till Flashpoint. Maybe they will continue with it, or just an idea that, yeah, possibly there is hope on, beyond the horizon kind of thing. And yet here we are again. We have to do the trends, and we have to show, yes, we really want this. And so that's where it's like, I still think I have hope that potentially can happen, but just feeling a little deflated.
But when you look at it, it's like, it's still, there has to be a script made. There has to be tons of production. And then how's this going to get done? Are any of the cast members still going to want to do it? I mean, there's so many more variables now than the original Snyder Cut concept. And if WB doesn't want to give an ounce of fucking shit towards it, I mean, it's just going to make it even harder than before. And unfortunately, it might come down to, it's just going to be like, it's going to be this lost concept. Maybe we'll get a graphic novel or something. I don't know. It's a possibility. It's up to Snyder, really. But it just kind of, it's just, I guess it's just frustrating to see that the DC fan thing, that really got to me. Yep. It's like, I'm a DC fan. I'm happy with everything. Only Snyder fans want this stuff. Really, only Snyder fans fucking want Darkseid versus the Justice League. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, that's just the stupidest fucking shit I've ever heard. Like, that's just, it's just, god damn it. It's just such a stupid fucking thing to say.
Speaking of Army, that was the other thing we were going to talk about.
All right, cool.
But yeah, that would be cool. Anime, we said this about the Snyder Cut too. We'll take it any way we can get it. Giggity. But go on.
Yeah, so so now let's jump over the Army of the Dead trailer, since I'm just kind of reiterating. I'm just kind of repeating myself a little bit, but
yeah, I'm getting a little heated. It's cool. That's cool.
Just
so Army of the Dead trailer drops. Amazing.
Last week.
Yep. Here we are. Hey, we took a brief hiatus, but guess who's back? Back again. Marks are back. Tell a friend. Yeah. So thoughts on the Army of the Dead trailer? I don't even know where to go from this.
Well, I know. I mean, holy shit. I don't know, man. I'm just a sucker for music lately. I don't know, because apparently,
oh man,
I guess the Junkie XL score wasn't good enough for some, but man, did I listen to a bunch of shit over and over again. And then just the trailer for this, I actually looked it up, and like, it's a remake. The song is called The Gambler.
Yep.
That was in the trailer. I actually looked it up. I don't think I've ever. Well, maybe I have looked up trailer songs before.
A lot of people, from what I saw, it was in comments. That's how I found it. That like YouTube comments on the trailer and talking about the song, how great it was.
Oh yeah, it fits so well. It just fits so well. Oh yeah, no, always keep faith. Always keep doing what you're doing. We're not going to change anything. I mean,
why do I feel like that's like a Foreigner song or like a Bon Jovi song or something?
What did I say?
No, just to keep the faith part. I was just like, something went in my head. I don't know. Speaking of songs,
I would love to know what was disappointing about it, though, man. I don't know. I thought it was different. It was definitely different. It was. I don't know. We watched The Walking Dead for a little bit, and then like, okay, this shit's just repeating over and over again. Like, so we kind of bailed out on The Walking Dead like by season, what was that, like 5 or 6 or something?
Yeah. Whenever Negan showed up, like right before Negan, I was out, and I'm like, am I going to be reinvested in this? I don't know. It's so repetitive.
I guess also I don't know. My love of it is it's Vegas, because fuck Vegas.
Exactly.
Exactly. You got to understand.
Wait,
we're Reno boys.
The government is gonna nuke Vegas. Bring it on.
I mean, we're Reno boys. There's a rivalry here.
Exactly.
All right.
Exactly.
There, especially this butthole next to me here. It's like, it's not UNR. It's not fucking UNR. It's the University of Nevada. That's it. Nevada.
That's it. We are Nevada. We represent Nevada.
It's not the University of Nevada, Reno. No, it's the University of Nevada. That's it. Fuck UNLV.
Thank you. I love you for that, man.
He did this to me once. I said UNR, and he's like, it's the University of Nevada.
Yeah.
All right. Like UNLV does not exist, which is the University of Nevada.
That's why
Las Vegas.
I can't get behind the Golden Knights. People are like, oh, they represent Nevada. No, they don't. They represent Vegas, which is a shithole, and I don't like Vegas. So fuck it. So maybe when the government nukes Vegas, throw in the Golden Knights in there too, and maybe the Sharks will actually be fucking good again, man.
Local Nevada stuff here, guys.
Exactly. They're like, where did this?
Well, I
come
just
from?
saw this comment. That's why. Maybe it's in Austin. What? No,
exactly.
Okay.
I'm feeling personally attacked. Oops, sorry.
Are you a Vegas? Are you
Yeah.
in Vegas there, Samantha?
Come up to northern Nevada. It's gorgeous.
Come to California's butthole up here.
Pretty much.
God damn it.
We are the Reno Tahoe. There's a comedian that's from here as well, and I love it. He has this whole shtick on Reno, just Reno and like the Reno Tahoe airport. Tahoe is not, it's close to Reno, but it's not super close. It's not close enough where you can name an airport Reno Tahoe International Airport.
Yeah.
No, you're landing smack dab in Reno.
It should be called the Reno Sparks International Airport.
Exactly. But you got to throw Tahoe in there because that's one of the biggest things we got.
People think it. Well, I guess if you think about it, airport wise, it probably is the closest airport to Tahoe. I don't know. It depends. I mean, I guess Sacramento. I guess how close.
No. I think you're right.
Sacramento. I think Sacramento would be really close.
Yep, Area 51. See, but that's what kind of sucks. Though, is Area 51 is near Vegas.
Yeah. Well, I wonder how these zombies are coming about.
Exactly. I love. So we got into this weird conversation at work about COVID and how there's like this theory that potentially it was man created. I'm like, you know what movie you're gonna love? Army of the Dead. And everyone was like, we were in our big conference room, and everyone was like, what? Where does this come from? Like, let me tell you. So man creates this thing apparently, and then all of a sudden I like going through the whole like synopsis. Some zombies are smart, some zombies aren't. Oh yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do.
Wait, you've seen it? I've been meaning to talk to you about this. Are you caught up?
I'm caught up. I've binged all 5 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, Army of the Dead looks great. Great music. Can't wait. Dave Bautista.
Can't wait for it.
All that
Dave
stuff.
Bautista, Zack Snyder, great concepts, smart zombies, heist movie,
Alpha,
insane, awesome.
Alpha. Let's get the names off here. Alpha. Alphas and Shambler. Fucking zombies. Anyway, so Invincible. I wanted to talk about Invincible, dude.
No spoilers. No spoilers. I don't know.
Not really spoilers. No, I don't think. I think it's pretty easy to do no spoilers on this one. I guess for me, actually, I love finding out.
What I do.
I love finding comics I don't know about or characters I just have no clue about. That's what drew me towards The Boys. Even Umbrella Academy on Netflix is cool. I love these like kind of independent ideas that just don't have, they're not a fucking whatever. They're not part of the Marvel or DC or I guess Image. I guess Image is big enough now.
It's an animated show. Invincible is an animated show on Amazon Prime, and it's fantastic.
Okay. See, the thing is that this is a script he's had for so long, and I think it's something that he could get the rights to. I don't know. Army of the Dawn of the Dead. I don't know. Does Universal own the rights to that? I guess because I don't know how hard it would be to buy a script compared to trying to get rights for a movie for Netflix. I'm not sure. That could be just the easier route. Like to get it on Netflix, to get those handcuffs off him to do what he wants. I don't know if he could get the rights, though. I don't know. I think it would be very difficult for them to do that. So this was kind of just a script. I think it was a lot easier for him to do. I get it, though.
This cracks me up that one comment we're like, squirrel. But with the thing I like about Army of the Dead is this was like a new concept, something that he was like, oh, I really want to do this, and brought it to Warner Brothers, and you know how they are. I love the fact that it's just something different, and you could continue with Dawn of the Dead, but that's kind of more of the same. Versus like this, he's taking a risk here that people may be like, what? I've already started seeing smart zombies. Do we want smart zombies? And
like they're dodging a knife attack.
Right. I think even in some of our comments, people were saying that, but it's he's taking a risk. It's a heist movie. with
they're going to be infected by fucking
contained
aliens, man.
Right.
I mean, that's
how more crazy do you get? It's crazy.
And there's a tiger that was Carol Baskin's tiger. All right.
Get back on the Invincible thing now.
Back at squirrel.
Yep.
We need that video uploaded here. Squirrel.
Exactly. That's our show. That's our show. Invincible is it kind of caught me by surprise. So little story time, I guess. I was getting a tattoo recently. It took 6.5 hours. And I'm talking with the guy, and he's a big. Oh, sorry. Did you were you not finished?
No, I just said, you said I got a new tattoo. I said, show it.
Oh,
and you just kept talking. No? All right.
No, hold on. I might have a picture, but let me. So
you don't want to lift your shirt up on.
No. Hold on. Switching.
Get our video pulled down.
Exactly. That's wow. What is that? Oh man, I gotta log in. Hold on. But so the guy that was doing the tattoo is a big comic book nerd as well, and so immediately we're talking about we're talking about like comic books and that's mainly the tattoos that he does, and he's like, oh, have you seen The Boys? I'm like, hell yeah, I love it. And then we're like, I said, all right, let me see if I can share this. And then I was like, yeah. And then he goes, have you seen Invincible? I'm like, no, but I've kind of been meaning to. I've heard some different things about it. So sharing tab. This might get pulled down anyways. There we go. Bam. That's the tattoo I got.
But we're not DC fans.
Put the tattoo on OnlyFans. So I've been meaning to get this tattoo for a long time. Not meaning to. I've been wanting to. I've been like, I was looking for the right artist, the right guy, and I found him. Big comic book nerd. He only does comic books and then like Japanese anime type or Japanese like type art. It was awesome. And so yeah, we're sitting there and he goes, have you seen Invincible? I'm like, no, I've been meaning to, but I've heard some different things on it. So we sit down, he throws on an iPad. And the first episode is a little bit slow. It kind of builds. So we're just kind of talking. And then eventually there's like a point like towards the end of the first episode and I'm hooked. So I'm laying there watching this iPad, watching the show, and it's just going and boom, I binge it. And I think I have like an hour and a half left of my session before an hour and a half left of my session before like by the time the show finished. But I was like sucked into it, like holy shit, this is the show. Why did I not watch this earlier? Like it's awesome. I loved it.
Oh, dude. Okay, so I'm getting tired of looking at your titty. All right.
Yes, that's my new tattoo. Itching like crazy right now.
Dude, so yeah, I started watching it and I was like, I love this concept, and and I just don't know anything about it. So it's just kind of cool to sometimes be that casual fan. Like, I just don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, it's just awesome to see. Like, I don't know, it's just cool to see different takes on things. That's all. And
I give him coming.
I just like that stuff. I just like seeing stuff.
The Boys was one of those, and
this
is what we were talking about too. Is the fact that like we grew up. I think I speak for Matt by saying this. We grew up with like very mainstream comic books and comic book characters. So loving the X-Men, loving Spider-Man, loving Batman, Superman, mainstream. And my tattoo artist was saying the same thing. He's like, yeah, it's very mainstream. So when you see these shows like The Boys and Invincible and these comics that you're like, damn, this makes me want to actually pick up this comic and read it. Like this is awesome. And it's so different. I want to send a scene to our buddy Mike, who's a big Batman fan, because there's this character that's kind of a lot of them are like rip off of the Justice League to kind of give you an idea, similar to The Boys. Yeah. And then there's a kind of a ripoff Batman and a ripoff Superman. And it's really if Superman would have, like, if he were to not give a shit, not care about killing people, what would really happen? And that's exactly what came to mind. I'm like, all right, motherfucker. This is what would happen to Batman if Superman really was unleashed. All right. Just throw that out there.
Yeah, take your dollar, Mike. Fucking shit.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly the fight that I'm talking about. It's fantastic. It's the shows. You're like, wow, they do not hold back at all.
No.
It's an animated show, and there's at first it kind of catches you off guard. When you're watching, you're like, okay, this is just like watching a DC animated movie. Like it's cool. And the episodes I want to say are probably 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes long. They were a little bit longer. They're not 20 minutes or so. And yeah, so you're watching it like, oh, this is pretty. And then, what just happened? You almost have to like rewind. And I loved it. I was sucked in the whole time.
No, dude, I love that show. I love seeing that type of stuff and being able to be the casual fan in it all, because you just don't know what the hell's going on. It's intriguing, and it handles elements really well. It's kind of like Spider-Man and Superman. Like if the Spider-Man high school kind of story was told with Superman.
Yeah.
So I guess Smallville. I don't know.
Right. Yeah, sort of Smallville. But yeah.
But with much more bloody.
Well, I think, much more. I think Kick-Ass, I want to say it was you and I that were talking about this, that we thought Kick-Ass was just going to be like a spoof superhero movie.
I already know about The Boys. Yeah. No, so after season 1, I got interested in the comics. I don't know if you would say messed up. They definitely took liberties. I will definitely say that. I don't know where the fuck they're going to go now, because they've gone off the fucking rails. And so if they're able to recover it and take it in a direction, then yeah, more power to them. I guess that's their choice. But yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's the Shadow. Sorry. Go ahead.
But now, so Kick-Ass we thought was going to be a spoof type movie. And then we watch it and we're like, oh, this is not a spoof movie at all. And Kick-Ass is based on a comic as well that I didn't know about. Was that you and I that were talking about that? Or maybe that was someone else that thought it was going to be a spoof movie as well. Like you have McLovin in it and everything. And you have, what's his name? Quicksilver. Anyways.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So you have like these actors that you're like, oh, this is going to be a funny spoof movie. And even the trailer, when you watch how they cut the trailer, it's Nicolas Cage. Oh,
yeah, I think you had to convince me to watch Kick-Ass.
Oh, really?
I think it was you that convinced me to watch it, because I was like, it looked like it didn't interest me at all. But then I watched it, I'm like, oh, dude, I totally missed out on, oh man, have they? I don't know. I guess, yeah, we'll definitely see. Read Rick Felice's Brat Pack.
Okay.
Brat Pack.
Right.
Did you ever, what about that independent comic that you bought from that Comic-Con from that guy?
I was just thinking about that the other day. No, but I still have them in that Comic-Con bag. I'll tell you how long ago it was. Did you read it?
You were the only one that got it. I was going to take yours when you were done, but then I forgot about it.
That's right. And then we were going to like break it down. Who knows? Who knows at this point?
All right, guys. So that's our very squirrel podcast stream right there. Jeez, we got to upload that now. That's just totally, by the end of this thing, it's just totally squirrel. Yeah, but definitely check out Invincible if you guys can. However you can watch it, definitely check it out. It's definitely worth it. I think it's cool. Like I said, I think it's kind of like Superman meets Spider-Man's high school thing. I guess you could say Smallville, but to me, it's Superman because the level of fights and stuff. It's on Superman levels. And in Smallville fought like crappy cyborgs and weird Aquamans and shit.
Hey, Cyborg was cool. Rest in peace to that one kid.
Really?
From Smallville? That's what you're talking about?
Is he really?
He's not cool, but yeah, he died. He was like in a Disney Channel show as well. Famous Jet Jackson. You remember that show?
No.
That's the character from who played Cyborg, and the Cyborg's not good. It's what you would expect on Smallville, but yeah.
Was it Chloe? Away. Make sure you.
Oh, let's not talk.
Let's
about
end on that positive note.
Lex Luthor, Michael Rosenbaum has a podcast. Check that out.
Yeah, check that out. He refuses. Yeah. Anyway,
all right, guys.
All right, so that's the rant / whatever the hell else we talked about afterwards. Squirrel. And apparently, Jose, we went 80 minutes. Because like 50 minutes went to a rant.
Exactly. We're like, oh, crap, we're gonna make up for lost time. And then you guys just throw in random comments and we're like, oh, yeah, what about this? Yeah, what about this?
Oh man. Anyway, so thanks again, guys. Thank you for everybody that supports us, man. You know, the members, our members, you know, thank you for being members. You know, seriously, you guys are making a lot of things possible for us, and hopefully, some of that stuff will start getting turned around a little bit. And I guess, yeah, we should really look into real cameras and shit, so we're not on fucking.
So that you guys know where your money's going. Our beautifully, wonderfully edited videos by Matt over there. Like that's where all that's going right now.
Oh, Shadow Vessel, you keep pulling me in, man.
Nope. Later. Sweet pick.
And,
sorry.
Oh, there we go. All right, guys. In case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
That's right. That's the comic movie marks ending.